This is the Tripowin ZONIE IEM cable. It's probably one of the best-selling cables that you can get on Amazon, partially because of the price. It's under $20 and as low as $13. It's a 16-core silver-plated copper. The listed specs don't claim that it's oxygen-free or anything like that, so who knows? PVC outer. You can get the terminations in 2.5mm balanced, 3.5mm, or 4.4mm Pentagon. And on the IEM end, you have the options of a 0.78mm 2-pin, MMCX, or QDC. The listed length is 1.25 meters. The listed weight is 20 grams. I weighed this on my scale. It's actually 30.4 grams. So I don't know where they're getting 20 grams from, maybe without the hardware or something, but no big deal. It does come in a nice variety of colors. I have the moss cable here. I'll put the other colors up on the screen so you can have a look. The packaging is very cheap and simple, which is perfectly fine. It saves on the cost. No reason to really have anything more than this on a cable at this price point. Rather, they put the money in the product than in the box. The cable itself is extremely soft and flexible. So you've got a 16-core construction here. The conductors are pretty thin. There are not any problems with memory or kinking, and no microphonics at all. This cable is very silent. The weave is relatively tight and consistent throughout the cable, and you can see here each of the individual cores or conductors is quite thin. Having a look at the 3.5mm end, the hardware on this cable is pretty standard, which is good. Definitely nothing fancy, but there's nothing wrong with it either. You do have one of the little silicone boots for strain relief instead of heat shrink, which I think is a nice touch. Nothing remarkable about the Y-split. Again, nothing wrong with it. The chin cinch is a little bit on the loose side, but it doesn't seem to fall down on its own, or at least it'll happen very slowly. So yeah, I guess it's okay. The ear hooks are very soft, so they're going to be comfortable behind the ear, but they don't quite have enough stiffness to help with keeping the IEM secure in your ear. If your IEM needs help with that, personally, I would prefer they would be a little bit stiffer, but they're definitely not going to be uncomfortable. It's going to be hard to see this, but there's a little tiny red and blue dot, one on each side, on the black plastic right above the pins. Red is for the right side and blue is for the left side. Let's see how well the 2-pin connectors fit inside a couple of different IEMs. Here I've got the Truth Ear Hola. These have a kind of recessed socket on them, so we'll make sure that we can get these all the way home. Yeah, they fit really nice. Cable goes in not too loose, not too tight, perfect. Can't complain, pretty good. And on IEMs with more of a kind of flat socket, obviously gonna be no problem here as well. Nice and snug on the fit. It definitely feels good. Not bad. Just yeah, very flexible here on the ear hook. A little bit too soft, but like I said, definitely comfortable, but wish there was a little more structure here. Just do a test plug of the 3.5mm end, and yeah, perfectly fine, fits good. Has the steps, so it has clearance to get through a phone or a DAB case, so again, nothing wrong. Onto the test wrap. The cable is really flexible, so no problem here. You can make a nice compact wrap and everything's going to stay in place just fine. The flexibility is top notch here. So you're not going to have any problems with tangling or microphonics or anything like that. The length of the cable is just barely longer than the standard minimum, 1.2 meters. It's about an inch or two or 5 centimeters longer. Anything extra is always appreciated, but it's not really that much. In conclusion, it's hard not to recommend this cable given the price point. If you're just looking for a very kind of standard basic cable with no flaws, then this is it. So the value here is good. I guess the only question mark is there's not a lot of specifics on the type of copper wire used. Hopefully it's not too prone to oxidization over time. The cable's not clear, so you wouldn't be able to see that, but that's why some cable manufacturers go through all the trouble of using copper that's as oxygen free as possible. Once that oxidization process starts inside the cable, it's kind of like a runaway train, and eventually the cable will degrade and fail. But at this price point, you can't really fault it too much, and as always, it's a good practice to keep your IEM cables and equipment as dry as possible. Thanks for watching.